It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be jumping on with my friend and sister, Melissa Price. She is the founder of this really, really cool thing that you guys are going to get to watch us demonstrate in a minute. It's called Emotion Commotion. I almost said it backwards. Emotion Commotion. And when I heard the name, I was like, oh, I got to hear more about this, because I've been a person who's always struggled to understand my emotions. And I would feel angry or frustrated or anxious and have all this stuff going on in my body. And I was like, what is this? How do I deal with it? And I just love this game because it really helps with that. So welcome, Melissa. Tell us about yourself and about this game that we're about to demonstrate. I'm so excited.
Thank you. I'm excited too. All right. So I am a mom of two grown adults and two grandbabies to my name. And they are like my favorite thing on earth. I love them. And let's see, I did create a game on emotions because I needed it. I grew up in a challenging childhood, and I was angry, and I didn't realize I was angry because lots of boundaries had been crossed in my life. Nobody taught me that. I just knew I had like a bit of a temper, and I really grew up hating that part of myself. I kind of identified with that anger. And so I would just ignore it or push it down and explode, and just get frustrated from time to time. I had children and realized I really don't want this anger to go into my parenting, right? And my marriage. And so I started doing some counseling and reading a lot. And that just started me on a healing journey. And I learned like I was angry for good reason, and that there were ways that I could manage that anger, that I could understand it. And it wasn't a bad thing for me to be angry. And that I could grab that moment and like change it and understand it. So I've homeschooled for many years and love the youth and want them to shine and be their bright, awesome, unique selves and their special gift to the world. And I would have these youth come to me and tell me that they were struggling with some addictions that I had seen, as I grew up. And I wanted so badly to like be a part of helping to prevent that. Emotional intelligence is really important right now. And so as I was getting ready to teach a mom's class about how to help their younger kids manage their emotions, I had to put on my thinking cap, because like, how do you teach little kids? And I started learning the value of play for teaching. And then the idea for this game came about, and I made a mock-up of it and started taking it around the neighborhood and realized this is a thing. It's a thing I created with lots of help. So that's the origin story.
I love that. And I'm sure that a lot of our listeners out there can relate. Things happen to us when we're little people or at some point in our life. And then we react in a certain way. And then when there's other things that happen throughout our life, we have this overreaction and we feel bad about it. But then, is it really an overreaction? Or emotions aren't bad? It's just they are, and it's just feeling them, seeing them, knowing what triggered them, so you can learn how to choose to have a different reaction, and an additional emotional response. So I just love it, and I'm this is going to be super embarrassing. She did it yesterday and I was embarrassed. It was just the two of us. So I have no idea what she's going to throw at me right now. She's going to make me sing or make an animal noise, neither of which I like. And I'm really worried.
Just for you, I might just combine two cards and have you sing an animal noise. Now you're scaring everybody.
I know. I am. This is gonna be cool because I think because I left us in speaker mode, they're gonna be able to see what I see without you seeing it. So or whatever, vice versa. It's gonna be
All right. So let me explain how we play this. This is an emotion card. No, this is the emotion card. This is the action card. And you do the action in the emotion, and then people have to guess what emotion you are portraying. So for instance, this tastes delicious. Let's see if you can guess this emotion. This tastes delicious. What?
You look scared or anxious?
Scared. Good job.
Okay, very good. Awesome.
That's easy. Are you ready?
I don't know. Let's give it.
I think you're ready for this. But I need to warn the viewers, if you want to have the fun of guessing, then you need to close your eyes because I'm going to show her the emotion word. But what she gets to do is make the sound of a cow.
Oh, yay.
I won't even make you sing. All right. So everybody close your eyes because I'm going to show her the emotion. Okay. Got it?
I think. Moo, 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 moo. No, I can't act it out. Doggone it, I forget.
Oh dear. I love this game.
Isn't it fun, guys? And you can like learn emotions. It's so cool.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you look to me like you were, I don't know, do it again. We need to have you do it again.
No. Can't even do it. I need my sister to play this game. She's so much better. Moo, moo.
All right. So I would say that was along the veins of scared too.
Yeah. Kind of like panicking.
Yep. It's panicky. Yeah. So you can see that as we guess, we get the opportunity to expand our emotional vocabulary. I might have you do one more. How are you for moving?
I can move from here.
All right. Okay, I want everybody to close their eyes. I'm gonna show her the emotion first, and then I'll tell you what she's gonna do. Okay. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay. And you get to show your emotion by dancing ballet.
Oh dear. I don't even know how to dance ballet. I can't even remember. I think I did this when I was a kid. Trying to think.
You don't have to dance good ballet.
Okay.
You're so cute. That was awesome. Oh dear. So that was a very good nervous ballerina.
Oh, yay.
That was so good.
Oh.
All right. So there's a lot of variety in actions. There's singing songs like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. There's sayings. There's making the sounds of animals, moving like animals. There's also cards where we isolate parts of the body, like show it just in your face. show it just in your hands or your legs. And there's kind of a point to all these different ways of expressing your emotions and isolating them, because we are kind of a whole person. So we do show it in our face and in our body and with movement, or some of us show it without movement. Everybody shows emotions differently. So what do you think that would help us with? Like, if we recognize that people show their emotions very differently than we do, how does that help us?
With empathy and communication and connection, because we can really see, we can start to understand that their response or that look on their face, that look we may take as grumpy. Maybe they're not grumpy at all. They're just nervous, or they process differently than we do, and they're just thinking. Yeah.
And then we have people that are very, very movement oriented, just naturally, and some that aren't, and some that have learned to hide their emotions more, and some that are very outward with their emotions. And like you said, we do get to develop empathy as we recognize that maybe I don't understand you as well as I thought I did. And maybe I can get curious and ask questions and not just assume that when you look like I look when I'm angry, that you're angry, right?
Yes.
And I also love that you learn that the people around you, you can't really expect them to know what you feel either. Like, even though we've lived with our family for years and they kind of know our moods, we can be more clear and communicate like exactly how we feel. So I love that you get the opportunity to expand your emotional vocabulary in this game. So it's kind of hard to tell when it's just you and I responding to each other. But when you're playing this with a family or with a group, there are lots of answers thrown out. And so you get the opportunity to realize how many emotion words and synonyms for emotion words that there really are. I watched a TED Talk that said there were 35,000 words for emotions.
35,000.
And do you know how many we use as adults? We have a 7.
6
Yeah.
or 7.
Yep. So there are studies that say that we as adults use 7 to 10 words to describe how we feel regularly. So as we model this for our kids, it's no wonder they don't know how to express how they're feeling, right? We give them the opportunity to hear lots of emotion words as we play this with them. And then they can better pinpoint as they practice what they're feeling. And all emotions is their messages to us. They're feelings that we feel in our body. So energy and motion, but then they have a message for us after we move that energy through our body. And you are the queen of getting out of stuck, right?
Yes.
Emotional regulation, which is just like how emotions ideally work through us and for us, is we have an emotion, we accept it without judging, we allow ourselves to feel it in our body and then move it out through talking, singing, movement, which are all included in my game. So we're practicing emotional regulation as we play the game. All right. And when we are getting stuck in our emotions, we are doing what I did as a kid, hating that I'm feeling angry. So I'm just not going to voice it. I'm not going to think about it. I just want to move on or logic through it, which is what I'm really good at. Oh, I'm angry, but that person thought this and this person thinks this, and and I logic through it. And if I don't allow myself to feel the emotion, it's okay. I'm feeling angry. Yeah. Just find a way to move it out, whether it's jumping on my rebounder or listening to some music, breathing. I mean, there's so many ways that we can allow that energy to continue to flow through, accept and acknowledge it, and then we can look at it and say, what message did my anger have? somebody stepped on a boundary. Do I need to make that boundary firmer? Or do I need to soften up? Or, what was it that triggered me? What's underneath that anger? If I'm sad, then what was it that made me sad? What am I missing in my life? And how do I provide that for myself? Because nobody else is in charge of that, really, as much as we wish they were. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then
yeah, go ahead. I was just thinking something, reminded me that when you and I were talking yesterday, and I've heard, it's the stories that we tell ourselves and things we repeat, but the way you explained that yesterday was so clear that we feel an emotion for 60 to 90 seconds, but it's our brain remembers that and keeps just playing it back. Like I've had those moments where I'm angry about some stimuli, probably more angry than I could be if I actually was, but whatever, you feel anger, just let it go. But it's that attaching more energy to it by just talking about it all day long or for the next week and justifying my position. And I've done that so many times.
Yes. Yes. So
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. And it's kind of like which comes first, the chicken or the egg, as far as whether people think thoughts bring about emotions or emotions bring about thoughts. But we have an event, it triggers a reaction in our body that we're not really in charge of, right? Yeah. And then really quickly we have a thought about that. And then, like you say, we can stew, or we can ignore, or whatever our go-to is to protect ourselves and keep us safe and comfortable, can help us be stuck, I guess. So just getting used to, let's move it on out. Like if you want to dance like a ballerina in your home, you can, nobody's looking, right? Or sing at the top of your lungs, or whatever it is. Let's teach our kids that emotions are okay. They're not negative or positive. And we kind of think of emotions in that term because there are some we don't want to feel. And there are some we would love to feel all the time, but that's really not what life is. So life is made of these moments and we have choices. And I love that emotions really are a big part of our choices in life. So if I choose to treat somebody this way and it triggers things or whatever, it triggers emotions in me, triggers emotions in them. We learned that that's not a good way to do things. So let's change, right? So emotions can be a catalyst for change if we look at the messages that they have for us.
I love that. So I'm sure people are going to wonder, first off, who is this for? Who, you were talking about the ages, and there's all ages, but tell us a little bit about that, who this is helping and
all right,
how it's used.
Yes. So when I created it, I was focused on kids and youth because they're just my jam. Youth are my jam. And I started playing it with younger families, and I played it with 5-year-olds. And the first time I played with this family, I loved watching the dad's response because he was amazed at how well his kids could pick up on emotions, because they don't always know what jealousy means. But if you just give them a short story, if your brother had an ice cream and you didn't, you really wanted one, that's what jealousy is. And they just go, oh yeah. And then they can portray it.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing. So I haven't played with 4-year-olds personally, but I've heard that they pick it up really well. I had some empty nesters come down that are good friends of mine, and they were like, we want to play your game with you. And I honestly was like, well, I made it for kids, but sure. And they came and we laughed for like an hour just playing, my son and these two friends. And I was thinking, not just for kids. So I've taken it to business retreats and we'll play for 2 hours. And by the time we're done playing, everybody feels connected. And I know connection is a huge thing for you too, but we get this opportunity to be a little bit vulnerable with our emotions in front of people, and that's what connects us. So that's maybe my favorite part of the game, besides all the laughter. I've played it with a bunch of 20-year-olds. The first day of 2020, I had 16 20-year-olds in my living room. We played the game, and then we got to my all play card. I want to share that with you. So my all play card asks you to get still for 10 seconds and think about where you feel the emotion that was drawn in your body. So if I get nervous, I would probably say that I feel nervous, like it's a tightening of my chest maybe, and like a little bit of a pit in my stomach. Yeah, like I can feel it right now just thinking about it. Like I'm like breathing. How do you feel? Or where do you feel it in your body?
Jumpy stomach. My stomach starts going crazy when I get nervous.
Okay.
Ugly crazy. Like I can feel it. It's like just even talking about it. It's funny, isn't it?
It is. I was taking this around to a friend of mine to the neighborhood, just like pick a card, any card, and seeing how it would go when I first got it. And my neighbor picked angry. And he says, oh, that's easy. I feel anger in my head. And that really took me aback because that is not where I feel anger. So that's a little bit of an opportunity to be empathetic and realize that people feel it differently, which is probably why they show it differently too. But this is like a very important part of understanding emotions too, is that we're feeling it in our body. And if we're forcing it down because we don't want to feel the anger, it gets stuck in us. It's what causes us illnesses. There's lots of books on this. In fact, there's books that'll tell you if it's your back that's hurting, you've got money issues or support issues. If it's your shoulders, it's the weight of the world. It's carrying other people on your back. And so if we are not regularly allowing this energy and motion to move out, then we are getting painful things stuck in us. And I think that's really important to teach our kids to think about, where do I feel the emotion? And then they can recognize that emotion next time. If they know that they feel scared because they have butterflies in their tummy or whatever, then the next time that happens, they recognize I'm scared. And I know when I'm scared, I can turn to a trusted friend or parent or whatever. Yeah.
So beautiful.
So I have played from 5 years old to 70 years old, and everybody loves it. That was a big surprise.
It sounds like such a great thing too for families and dedicated family time, because sometimes we're like, well, we don't know what to do, so we stare at the television. This will be such a better use of time where you can actually interact and retreats. And I've been thinking about how to use it by, teaching others and other ladies, because I love to help Christian women step into their God-given purpose. But we have these negative emotions and these voices that tell us all these things. So to be able to see it for what it is and to let it out, I just think is so powerful. So, hi, Anjanette. Thank you. Glad you love it. So tell us where we can get this amazing game and learn more about it.
All right. So you can go to emotioncommotiongame.com and order it. That's pretty much it. Or I keep them in the back of my car because everywhere I go and I talk about it, people want it. So
it's real. I just ordered a bunch for my family because the price on it is really super reasonable. And I couldn't believe it, actually. When you told me about it, I was like, oh, this thing's going to be like $100. And it was like 20 something. I mean, it's just such a no-brainer for me. I was like, I've got to get this for gifts because my family's coming down and I just really want to see my nieces and nephews. I just love the kids, and I want more for them than what I feel like I understood about emotions. And it took me till 45 to realize that my emotions were what was holding me back in stepping into God's purpose. And everything's on his timetable, but to be able to help the younger people and everybody, I just think it's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. one of my purposes, I guess, is to help prevent addiction in kids, because I grew up with the brunt of other people's addictions affecting me. And so I've studied that a lot. And really, when we do not know how to manage our emotions, we're turning to something for comfort. And that could be food, that could be drugs, that could be pornography, so many different things that we will turn to keep us in comfort and give us solace, but it's all temporary, right? And that I've seen that, I guess, whittle away at people's confidence and keep them from being their unique gift from God to the world. And I love, like, our youth, and I just want them to shine, in everybody, not just the youth. I want everybody to shine. And so teaching emotional intelligence from the get-go, I'm hoping will be a great prevention aid and help kids as they grow, I guess.
I love it. And I'm so excited that you had this idea, and it was so fun to jump on with you. And we'll be doing more of these, so look for more crazy, wacky ballerina stuff, I guess. It was so much fun. Anything else you wanted to share for me?
Let's see. I don't think so. Like, just come play with us.
Yeah, we're going to be playing. If you want to play with us, put like a me too or a hand raised, and we're going to find a way to be able to do this like through Zoom, because I just think it's so much fun. And I laughed so hard yesterday and today, and I just think it's really great. So thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.